the Yemen, the number Sheba me, me, Nava me, Name, Jeme, Lume, Yeme, Lume, Dame, Dome, Rome, Rejame, Jum, Mega come, Bani, Yaja come, Yaja number Sheba, Kamja, Pada, Meto, Mariba, Met, Mariba, Seba, Mebani, Gasha, me, Gasha, Sebe, Pada, Met. Tejanda du Nawaton, Gum Jogbaton, Gobaton, Lame, Yeshime, Toba me, Matoba, Shareba, Dedavena, Jonja, Zemba, Namla, Toba, Mebesha, Shiraja, Paroda, Yambala, Tenji, Nite, Sela, Doba, Mebe, Toba, Med. Lolo Shanda, Dene, Nyanga, Lende, Bantar Shando, Tusanda, Number Juba, Sonje, Tamje, Jon, Shiraja, Paroda, Shambala, Tene, Lana, Meba, Yontaba, Zoba, Number Zoba, Son Jeso, Tetavena, Shirabja, Paroda, Shimbe, Nak Rikpa, Chamber, Nak Lana, Mebe, Nak Manyaba, Non Yambara Jeba. Dunga Danja Rada Shabara Shebenga, Mother Bena, Dembara Sheba, Shade, Shiraja, Barada, Shembenga, Mip, Tiata, Gadenga, De Baranga, De Bara, Samga, Dem, Bodhe, Sova, Shadabe, Shonja, Zemba, Zemba, Jembo, Teta, Shiraja, Bar, Shimba, Samola, Lapar, Shao, Dene, Jamden, De Dingan, Tele, Jingde, Shonja, Zemba, Zemba, Jembo, Baba, Shenese, Onju. Lexo, Shishawa, Shemne, Lexo, Rigjaba, Dede, Yono, Rigjaba, Dede, Shimba, Samola, Shepa, Shade, Deja, Shepa, Namjon, Jeso, Yorongo, Jamden, Deja, Tegeji, Katani, Sedon, Demba, Sharan, Dode, Bodon, Shonja, Zemba, Jembo, Oshudon, Tamchedon, Dembin, Tedadon, Ladon, Muton, Lama, Yendon, Tezajiban, Jida, Yeronde, Jamden, de Jevon, the Adam, Garden got the Baranga, the Borosam, got the Bodezo, the Adam Garden got the Baranga, the Borosam, got the Bodezo, the Adam Garden got the Baranga, the Borosam, got the Bodezo. The Adam Garden got the Baranga, the Borosam, got the Bodezo, the Adam Garden got the Baranga, the Borosam, got the Bodezo, the Adam Garden got the Baranga, the Borosam, got the Bodezo, the Adam Garden got the Baranga, the Borosam, got the Bodezo. The Adam Garden got the Baranga, the Borosam, got the Bodezo, the Adam Garden got the Baranga, the Borosam, got the Bodezo, the Adam Garden got the Baranga, the Borosam, got the Bodezo. The Adam Garden got the Baranga, the Borosam, got the Bodezo, the Adam Garden got the Baranga, the Borosam, got the Bodezo, the Adam Garden got the Baranga, the Borosam, got the Bodezo, the Adam Garden got the Baranga. Borosam got the Bodezo, Namola, Mala, Shanzalo, Sonjela, Shanzalo, Jula, Shanzalo, Gunala, Shanzalo, Jimjamo, Chira, Jabaro. Dogo Dembe Tindo Parajaji, Jadana, Laya, Ombo, Jajanji, Shiraja, Barada, Shimbe, Desamo, Yola, Samji, Tikadanda, Shibala, Teni, the Dijala, Soba, Mandamba, Shotamji, Shodoba, Tijanda, Dagejan, Yanjamo, Shiraja, Barada, Shimbe, Desamo, Yola, Samji, Tikadanda, Shibala. Then the Dijala, Soba, Mandamba, Shotamji, Shodoba, George, Mebara, George, Shiva, George, Radha, Shiva, George. Qur'ana, you should don't do this, please, okay? It's very important. Kongo Denjin Dewan Jonga Pameji Shimeba Jeba Meba Tameba Hova Meba Domeba Tade Tema Tenjima Tuba Shedamba Soba Sonje Mananje Damba Dela Shanzalo Hoje Yoja Navyon Zambem Dombola Yansan Chogang Danye Beman Jone Jesa Dan Kodan Kando Mombo Jeja Jesa Dadu Jinje Love Guru Bema Sada Gozon Dosem Gara Shara Sem Bema Gara Jambon Yashan Sosa Nanya Teten Jasa So Gajala Ma Namla Sovanden Zalen Seba Jendu Jonyen Tuje londo nyamben dangaya nata damba beba daya konde juga doba lonjamba dume waze jala zovande uma juja inja tuza zanje ganja ngawanya shonsa juga ngasam dendaba zava lame jala zovande java don jajen jam Jivaya Gaja Zavaya Gava Jonza Daga Jazab Tanja Daga Janja Jarma Zaja Bhuja Jaja Madada Zara Linja Nyadid Sonja Jemba Medam Bhavaya Daga Nanda Jala Jabha Jo Sanja Namja Zamba Loya Jadawa Jaja Dhamma Devaya Jajangol Gomeva Java Jave Java Jonya Dava Jonjo Nyamgava Malandaga Yova Donjan Doja Nyemba Dandela Nyava Manga Dandela Jida Jola Zajova Sele Namdo Same Lamje Shenda Jambo Zavaya Dusa Sanje Tanje Jangovo Redna Jango Jense Jada Garan Somba Meba Jense Tanya Padan Savala Marumbo Je Jabje Bema Dhamma Mebal Gove Rabdo Dede Gosan Kupa Jembe Gone Shan Vajen Jasan Jo Dajen Sanje Damje Jiva Me Thara Damje De Dusava Jembe Jisa Song Zedda Nije Jembo Dede Nime Je Zome Malan Jembo Nga Jada Dega Danga Sentu Shemad Dumbo Tuje Jembe Dajan Je Oje Zolen Bema Dombo Za Jave Namda Rongjan Lan Jeda Tenson Sonye Beje Sombar Bema Jome Dala Danzaro Malo Jalve Sonsa Jide Beje Jeda Nye Sama Je Chijan Jime Doje De De Sanongo Jede Manye Nonje Dazo Juba Janso Kondo Sono Tamad Jambal Doji Chara Lao Deme Sandaran Je Namje Manje Baje Deme Zora Yenje Basa Sokondo Riji Tuje Lame Daja Je Dusa Sonjen Dusa Ngawanya Dembe Donse Kama Barala Sovan Desa Daji Shinje Loa Gada Lando Gomba Tobat Nojin Dasen Jelunde Bajo Oman Jije Yenje Parana Dusa Sonje Gonje Ngawanya Oman Chiji Yenje Parana Dusa Sonje Gonje Ngawanya Zavelana Jala Zavande Nazonde Velana Jula Yo Konda Shoje Donganji Dana De Jelo Majiva Gonsada Tenda Damba Jujen Chenbe Besembaran Doba Damjenda Ye Namo Aya Damba Laya Gedan Ladana Yenge Devenda Namaya Genamdon Dova Ganja Dana Jazamba Damje Geda Jundan Jorva Yo So the beginningless or countless of our lifetimes to be in the samsara, through the different realms of the sentient beings, or we're wandering into the different realms of the samsara, and then today we are here during these travelings, during the travelings of the samsara. So today we are here gathering and listening the great profession, rest in nature of the mind. And the among we are travel to the samsara, or born to the samsara. So may you have been born as other kings. May you have been born also king of the god, king of the humans. May you have born into also hell realms. And may you have born into the animal realms. Or not may, actually it's kind of surely. But Kunchen Longchen Ranjang says, the Ngumik Jensen Zamba Taritams. So wearing the Dhamma robe is the must be also just only this life, he says. So wearing the robe of the Dhamma, like wearing the robe of Dhamma. But I think even studying such great book like this, even more rare than wearing of the robe of the Dhamma. So therefore, we have to be kind of think ourselves how are we fortunate. The form of precious body which we have able to receiving teachings and as well also able to practice of the teachings is not often happening. And even the practicing, we have various kind of levels of the practicing. Even the Buddha present, when Buddha present, and most of his disciples are more like practicing of the Vinaya. Many of them, they did not hear any words of the bodhicitta mind directly from the Buddha. They hear only the Vinaya teachings, of course they are very important, but such the cause or karma, cause and effect, selflessness, impurity, suffering of the samsara, and etc. So most of his students, they did not hear any words of the Mahayana teachings from directly from the Buddhas. Even though they have great lucky that they born in the human realms and they have able to hang around with Buddha. They have, really they born like right time, you can say, right time, because Buddha appear, Buddha are present, and they are first student of the actually Buddha's enlightenment time, or first student of the Buddha Shakyamuni, for example. However, they have no luck enough to really receiving Mahayana teachings. So even though they obtain precious human life, fortunate, great, but still they are lack something. So, and then later on, we talk about, when the Buddha Shakyamuni, he teach Mahayana teachings, we talk among, they say maybe 1,000 or 2,000, or then 20,000 of the gods and goddesses and etc. So among the human beings, there were not so many. So therefore, because of they need some good circumstances. And then, of course, the Vajrayana teachings and great professions is even more, very few people, they hear these teachings from the Buddha directly. So in at that point, so we are somehow, we can say, very unfortunate. We are still in the samsara, but and somehow also we are very fortunate that we have still able to learn such great teaching like this. So therefore, this form is really precious human form, very precious one, you know. And Jarwa Longchen Ranjampa, their description, just human, and then particular human, and then precious humans, precious human beings. So there's three kind of the human being in this the world, and that how they make its differences is that just born in human, if you have no any more thinking than animals, you know, then you are just human, but your mentally is not big different. It means that for animals, they can find their food, they can find their house, they can find their place where they're sleeping. You know, they know how to sleeping, they know how to wake up, they know how to walk, they know how to find their food. So human being, if we think of only like that, you know, many human beings just looking for food, clothes, house. So those are the really just human beings. You have human form, but your mentally is totally same as like those animals, right? And then particular ones who are really little bit thinking more better than these animals, you know, thinking more improve of the knowing of the how, what is good, what is bad, what is good for future, what is bad for the future, how we can apply the good ones, how we avoid bad ones. You know, we know something. You know, they are looking for more inner kind of qualities. Those are the more particular. But then someone really to be free from the samsara, it means we have negative emotions. We have, as long as we have these negative emotions, there is no peace, there is no joy. You know, there is like sorrow, suffer. So if we really dealing of our own kind of emotions, you know, try to find how control of the own negative emotions and improve or develop or cultivate inner peace. And those are the using such methods, you know, of the great teachings and applying this, and through that if you achieve something, and then they talk about precious human life. So these are the very rare, you know, if you think of the cause and condition of the be-born precious human life, is really almost impossible. I often mentioned, you know, keeping 10 unvirtues is not easy. That is the cause or condition for be-born human form. And also, if you think of the amount of the sentient beings, we easy to falling into, easy to find form of any animals, you know, and higher realm beings, because they have large amount. So human beings are very few. So therefore, also very difficult. And words of my prophet teacher, they mentioned of the also for examples, cause, amount, and etc. So we have to remember of that, those things, and then may you have appreciate how you are lucky. So therefore, the great opportunity to link with this kind of the great teaching. So this has to also be done some course or good merit in the past lives. So we should appreciate that, and we should not waste this opportunity. And today we are here listening on the great chariot, the commentary on relaxing in the nature of mind. The nature of mind is the three kaya. Three kaya means the Dhammakaya, Sambhogakaya, Nimanakaya. The nature of mind, luminosity is Sambhogakaya, emptiness, which means that totally pure of the negative emotion, is we call Dhammakaya. And the totally purity has luminosity, clarity, that is Sambhogakaya. So these two things cannot separate. The two are kind of always, they are kind of gathered. So we call union of the luminosity and emptiness is sometimes we call great compassionate, or sometimes we call Nirvanakaya, Nimanakaya. So the nature of mind is like that. So there is no such negative emotions, and pains, suffers, hopes, fears. So totally kind of free. So therefore, that is actually the great relaxing. So the great profession is that, the nature of mind, a complete, Dzog means a complete of the all kayas within our own nature of mind. So therefore, the three kaya of nature of mind is the great profession. So in this book, the guidance to how it will appear, we do have the three kayas within our own mind, but we do not recognize it, and we are not achieved that level. So the book guidance us to be reach to that level, or it shows how you will be reach into the three kaya of your nature of mind. So therefore, the name it comes like that way. So in this book has the three main subjects: how to enter into the actual books, and then the actual subject and conclusion. So today we are second the actual subject. The actual subject has 13 chapters, and today we are 8th chapter. 8th chapter is the bodhicitta, the mind focus in complete enlightenment. And then this has three subjects. Meditation on the root of the dharmas, the two bodhicittas, and then actual bodhicitta, or detailed explanation of the actual bodhicitta, and then dedication of the chapters. So today we are the extensive explanation of arising bodhicitta, and here they're talking about 10 different subtitles, and then first is they're talking about benefit of the bodhicitta. So the benefit of bodhicitta has 6 different list. I think 6 different list. So we are today on I think 5th. Yesterday we stopped on the 5th. The benefit of suffering being eased, and the appearance of wisdom produced. So the list itself is very important. The kind of the maintaining all subject by the sub heading, and list and etc. So these are the very important. So now the benefit, they're talking about the benefit or quality of the bodhicitta. So here says now, so sentient beings has the sickness, great sickness, sickness. We have the negative emotion is really great sickness, which we don't like, because they did not give any good for us as long as we have the negative emotions. However, that we cannot really avoid, the negative emotions when they came. There is pain, there is suffer, This is more actually sick than physical sickness. But still people do not understand, So now they're talking about the suffering of the sickness can be eased by the bodhicitta mind. As well as also we are very dark mind, Our mind is really covered, What we see, what we hear, of course this is very wonderful. And also we think intellectually we are very clever. The very clever is very much dependent. You are very clever, such like animals or maybe stupid ones or something. But compare our nature of mind. We are very stupid still, because the nature of this mind is much more clever than what we think we are clever here. So therefore, we are darkness. So the bodhicitta mind also, the rays of the inner clever or primordial wisdom, it means also the appearance or raising of the wisdom produced. So the list here is also very kind of shows very important meaning here. So now what's called this root text, it will come in, root text of the resting in nature of mind. Immeasurable benefits of aroused bodhicitta, that is not root text, but now they're talking. So this is the excellent medicine that cures the ill of beings. The magic was that increasing wish fulfilling splendor. This is the sun of wisdom, and the moon that soothes our torments with qualities like stars that shine in a spotless skies. So they're talking about the bodhicitta has quality such. They're talking about magic was or wish fulfill was. The was have all substances of the kind of precious jewels, and which you keep that was in your home or in your shrine, and pay homage and show respect. So the power of the essence of the jewelries have really great qualities. It gives accomplishing your wishes. So therefore we talk about wish fulfill was. And they're talking about also the medicine, excellent medicine, the cures the ill of beings. The medicine also, we talk about precious medicine. So one pill can acute 100 kind of the sickness, because this pill, they made all kind of important substances. So we talk about also the precious pill of the medicine. So bodhicitta mind, if you practice like each negative antidote of each negative emotion, there you need to meditate many different kind of elements. Normally we say the antidote of the desire, you need to meditate on impurity and anger, negative anger, antidote of the anger that we made meditation on compassion, loving kindness, and etc. So we need to meditation many different antidotes. But if someone can meditate on the bodhicitta mind, if possibility to arouse bodhicitta mind, so we don't have to go each antidote. So once acute many of the sickness. So therefore, this is the such great medicines. And as well as also they're talking about sun of wisdom, moon of the sun of wisdom. They're talking about sun of wisdom. So when the sun appear, then all darkness are gone. And when there is no sun, then we need many, these light things. Many lights you have to turn on, right? Hundreds of lights in the small city you have to turn on every night. But when the sun comes, you don't have to all hundreds of the suns, the lights. So similarity, and as well as also the moon has coolness. Coolness. So when we have very hot or suffering of the hot, and we use a lot of air conditions, right? But the moon has the coolness. So the coolness gives like present, and a same way, negative emotions gives us really hot, and the bodhicitta mind gives coolness, means that push down your heart of the negative emotion. As well as they're talking about the skies, they're talking about, spotless sky. The quality is inconceivable. So they're talking about shine in a spotless sky, means inconceivable qualities, such, the filled space by the spotless. And that was like Longchen Pa's root text. Then he put just quotation. Again, this Gandhavyuha, I think, Gandhavyuha, there is maybe sounds like that. Bodhicitta is the seed of all the Dhamma of the Buddhahood. So means all the Dhamma has many different meaning. Sometimes we talk about all phenomena are, say, all the Dhamma. But then sometimes all Dhamma is only for the enlightenment paths and only for the yanas. So now, it means, all yanas and all enlightenment path for the Buddhahood. The root, the seed is actually bodhicitta. And this is in making the white Dhamma of all sentient beings grow. And then here talking about white Dhamma. And it means that virtue, inconsiderately, when they say black is considerately unvirtue actions, and white is virtue actions. That is one of the, maybe you don't know the white or black, but there is some kind of different color. So white Dhamma means the all virtue actions. So we need to grow virtue actions. We like to do that, but it's problem that we cannot, right? So none of our practitioners, particularly, none of us like to do bad actions, bad thinking, and bad kind of saying. Yet, we cannot control, We cannot control. We cannot keep that, our wish in continuously because we are careless. We have no mindfulness. We are not aware of what we are doing. So therefore, we do a lot of mistakes. So now here, if we do have the bodhicitta mind, then the sentient beings, the wide Dhamma, virtue action are generally increasing. Such way of the, I think they here examples, number be like way of the what's called farmer field, they always arising when they really going well there, then they grows all kind of seeds or similarity. Says it like a field. In the burning away all faults, it is like kalpa fire. So if we do have bodhicitta mind, then the fault means the negative emotions. The negative emotions based on the self-clinging, As long as we have self-clinging, and based on that, then all kind of negative emotions are there. Stinginess is there, and desire is there, anger is there. So they're based on the self. When you when you unhappy something, and then there is anger arised. When you feel something you like, then you have clinging there. Desire is there. So therefore, all kind of the negative emotions are actually raised or based on the self-clinging. So the antidote of the self-clinging is actually bodhicitta mind, So therefore, whoever has the bodhicitta, then the burning away all faults. It is like kalpa fire, which we already talked yesterday. The exhausted, in exhausted all that is bad, it is like the depths of the earth. So exhausted of all that is bad, they says, but it's talking about unvirtue, The translation, sometimes virtue is translated as good, so then unvirtue they translated as bad. So unvirtue actions. So negative emotion is kind of seed, and then there is action coming. Action is more like physical or verbally, when you hear of action, action. So based on the self-clinging, and then we have unvirtue actions. And when they no self-clinging, then there is also, it will be exhausting of all the bad or negative actions. In the accomplishing all goods, and and accomplishing all goods. So actually, if you become enlightenment, then accomplishing all goods, accomplishing of your virtues, accomplishing of your paths. So in order to accomplishing or in order to enlightenment, then we have to generate or raise or arising bodhicitta mind in our mind. That is only solution to become fully enlightenment. So therefore, in accomplishing all goods, if it really comes to the bodhicitta mind, and it is like a king of which fulfilled gems. And then okay. And then next one is in pulling beings out of the stream of the river of samsara is very clear, right? So we are continuously in the samsara. So samsara is like a river, you know. Even you want to stay here for 1 minute, you know, without change, you cannot. You know, the permanent or the impermanent of, you know, that's our life or our mental, our quality, our youth, you know, it's like a really river. So it goes. And then also another thing, the river is never going up, you know. River always more going down, right? River never going up, mountain and etc. So as long as we have the negative emotions, live in samsara, you know, based on our self-clingings, then like a river going down. So what you need some kind of hook to, you know, come out from that. Otherwise, there's no way to even stop there. Of course, go back is far away, but even there's no way to stop 1 minute, 1 second. So it goes like that. So therefore, the bodhicitta mind is the great hook that you are from that, you know, take out from that river of the suffering or samsara. And then it is like a iron hook. In the world, together with its good, or with its gods, right? Gods, sorry, humans and asuras. Asuras is maybe, okay, this demigods, I think, the asuras. It like shine. Oh, again, who have bodhicitta mind, and that is the great object of the prostration, offering. You know, even you have linked any kind of with the great bodhisattvas, and your merit is immeasurable. So that's why they're talking about also like a shine. So the shine is more support of the generate devotion, generate, you know, offerings and etc. You know, as I mentioned yesterday also, shine is always really great support. You know, when we see, if you are Buddhism, when you see Buddha's image or such wonderful offering things, and there is different feeling, you know. We have some kind of naturally raised devotion and etc. So support is very important for beginners, because we are very much dependent on the object. If we see something, you know, beautiful woman or man, you have some kind of feeling. And if we see delicious food or drink, you have the special feeling. You know, those are that we call desire, right? We call desire. But when you see the great masters, the great shine, great, you know, like holy things, and there is different feeling. So these are the, we need this kind of feeling. So therefore, the great bodhisattvas, and even you link with some kind of materialism, there's immeasurable benefits, and no question about, you know, raise your devotion, confident, and follow the footstep. Those are the immeasurable. So therefore, they're talking about it is like a shine. Then, in fulfill all wishes, it is like an excellent wishing vase. And these are the same as like the root text. So why Konchen Longchenpa, he wrote the benefit of this in this root text and based on those teachings. And then here again, similar, the Bodhicaya Avatara, they mentioned here. This is excellence, Amrita of deathlessness. Deathlessness. As long as we have self, then there is birth, there is dying, you know, because the clinging of the self, it will bring into the samsara. Or clinging of the self, it created also habit tendencies of the giving birth and death and etc. All these are actually, we talk about like dream, like dream. However, that the strong habit tendencies of the clinging self, so we do not recognize it as a dream. So therefore, it's happening, for us, it's truly happening, right? But through the bodhicitta mind, may you remove of your self-clinging, and therefore there will be also remove of the all habit tendencies. So therefore they will maybe then remove of the habit tendencies of the birth and death and etc. So the bodhisattvas, they appear in the samsara is just like fun, but we appear here is like just a suffering. So big difference, because with death is, for us is real death, birth is really birth, old age is really old age, sick is really sick, so therefore we are pain. But once you know these are the like magical, there is no such death what we think of the death. There is no such birth what we think of the, what we known as the birth. There is no such old age what we see of the old age. There is no such sickness what we see of the sickness, we feel of the sickness. So therefore the deathless bodhicitta mind can be, excellence, amita of the deathless. And what is this? That conquer for sentient beings of fearful lord of death, right? Because once you see us magical, and then they conquered. This is the inexhaustive precious treasure source, and that clear away all poverty of sentient beings. What is poverty? Poverty. Sorry? Poor, right. Yes. That is also very great meaning here. If we realize that selflessness, there is no poor. There is no really poor. I think if we are really practitioner, every sentient beings are our treasure. We can practice every places, every moment. Even your hardships, even whatever is become your treasure, because that way you can gain your accumulated merit. That way we can gain also attain enlightenment. But here is now, if we have self-clinging, and then our life is very important. For this life, we need clothes, we need food, we need house. If we are a lack of something, then we think we feel very poor, right? We have no money, we have no food, we have no clothes, we have many things happening here based on the self-clinging. And bodhicitta is, we have to go beyond the self-clinging, and once become like that, then there is no such like poor. So this is very good and excellent medicine that completely pacified all illness of the beings. So our natural illness of the jealous, illness of the anger, there is no medicine. There is no such doctor. There is no painkiller. Really, right? But the bodhicitta mind can cure it. So it's really, bodhicitta mind is very important. So we okay, sorry. I will read most in English. And if I don't understand the English, then I will look again in Tibet, okay? Specify to all illness of the beings. It doesn't mean that you can heal others. That is also, or maybe indirectly you can heal. But whoever practicing bodhicitta mind, and therefore sure they will be free for this. So the bodhicitta mind is not for only Buddhists, not for only Mahayana, not for only Vajrayana practitioner. Everyone can practice. Every sentient beings. Actually, eventually, I think every sentient beings go through the bodhicitta mind, because every sentient being somehow it has to be enlightenment, because every sentient being's nature is enlightened. So therefore, actually, in the Buddha Matthias, the Panchaparamita teaching says, certainly, surely, every sentient being has to go through the bodhicitta mind. And he mentioned also like that. So in here also you have to think that all illness of the beings, or all beings illness, you can say also, two ways, okay? All illness of the beings, or all beings illness. Well, they are the same. That is the wish, okay, this is the also wishing tree that is of the awareness. So they're talking about here wishing tree. They're more talking about like shadows of the trees, So shadow of the trees. So people who are long traveling, hot weather, desert place, and we are really kind of thirsty, tiring, like very difficult. And then certainly, if you appear one tree with have shadows, and then if you resting, and that in that shadow, you have special feeling. And really kind of, you are kind of eases. Are they talking about? I think maybe eases is more like relaxing, right? Or resting. So that have special feeling. So we are in the samsara, the beginningless. Like we are really long traveling with sand place and with hot weather and carry a lot of things, and walking many days or months, and no food, no drink, something like that we are, So certainly, if this bodhicitta mind appear, this will be like the tree, wishful tree, which have great coolness and great shadow and etc. And if you are resting, that is the, I think, great place for that moment, right? Of being exhausted of the wandering into the path of samsara, okay? And then this is the universally supporting bridge that liberate all beings from the lower realms. So, lower realm to the high realm to the enlightened, we need some kind of bridge, we need some kind of link, right? How do you walk? How do you join? How do you link? So the bodhicitta mind is the only solution. So if you cross the rivers, oceans, then we need some kind of the bridge which everyone can use. Actually, they're talking about supporting of the bridge. So bridge, once you build bridge, we cannot say my bridge. We cannot say only you can go, no one can go, right? So if the bridge is for purpose of the just cross of these things. So bodhicitta mind is something like that. Okay, this is the erosion of the moon of mind and clear away the torment of the kelasha of the beings. Very easy to understand, right? This is the great sum that fully based on the beings, final removed of the darkness of the ignorance. Firstly, we have to rest bodhicitta mind. It doesn't mean that immediate or as soon as you have rest bodhicitta mind, then it will be all, it will happen like this. But we have to start, rest bodhicitta mind. Based on that, then we really traveling on the path of the Mahayana. So therefore, the bodhicitta mind is like without the bodhicitta mind, then there is no such Mahayana path, or we cannot really practicing the path of the Mahayana, or they cannot mean that we have no capacity, we have no really such kind of qualities. So therefore, still we are far away. So and then when you are really traveling in that, then finally the removal of the darkness of ignorance. Finally, they talk about 5 paths, 10 bhumis. These are the level of the bodhisattvas. This level means that those are the has like different qualities of the different practice. So therefore, the 5 paths and 10 bhumis and etc. The end, then you can remove of the all darkness of the ignorance. From churning the milk of teaching of the holy Dharma, this is the essential butter that arises. So the general Dharma is like milk. It's already wonderful, right? It's not. It's disturbing this recording, the sounds.
Probably not.
Okay.
Save the sound from the microphone.
Oh, that's good. Okay. And recording of yourself. So this is one thing, but also we need to recording ourselves. Each of you have also recording machine, right? So you should open that, use that. Not only rely on this. That is important. So general all Dharma are like milk, wonderful, rare, and much far more better than water and etc. But then essential of the milk is butter. That is something also even more rare. So bodhicitta mind is the essential of the holy dharmas. Being who are traveled, treading the path of samsara, wish to have the experience of bountiful happiness. But now at this, what is this? Banquet? What is that? Sorry?
Banquet is feast, like lots of food.
Oh, automatic happiness. This great traveler being will be satisfied. Now they're talking about all samsaric travelers. Our wish is really happiness. That is we need it. People, the scientists, why they emphasize of the business. And first they think, the wealth is the source of the happiness. So therefore, every being, they really emphasize how to develop of the wealthy. And they did very quite well, Many people become really, really rich, and all world is become wealthy country. But then we find there is no really happiness at the end. From that, there is no happiness. But still, we are looking for happiness. Everyone still looking for happiness. And the Buddha says, if you really want to joy of happy or wealth of happy, whatever, and then the bodhicitta mind is the best of the happiness, or source of the happiness, or happiness is come through this. So that is the subject they call the benefit or quality of the bodhicitta, which can suffering being as east and appearance or rest of the wisdom produced. And our next one is benefit of vast quality. And even more, like they're talking about vast quality, jache fans, even more. That the same making loose, and then in the root text, this is as vast as the measureless ocean of Dhammadhatu, and supremely wondrous quality of the victory one, within it a limitless cloud bank of inconceivable merit, their nature always producing goodness and benefits. So I have to read in Tibet because I don't understand correct. Sami sonam tanso podme jalwi and the hint met shangshi chuji in the poi jachivos. Okay. Now the merit is very important, right? So through the bodhicitta mind also, bodhicitta mind has inconceivable merit. I think merit is something maybe you have to understand, Merit is something really we can hold, good things, And many people, when they become famous, and they're gone, really become crazy, using different methods, such like drugs or drink, and many things you're doing when you are become famous, become rich. I think that is lack of the merit, because you cannot power to what you have. So the object, what we have, is supposed to be like our enjoyment, right? But if we cannot handle that, then those are become like really great dangerous. So many people, they cannot handle their fame, they cannot handle their wealth, they cannot handle their beauty. So therefore, I think many of the high people, they became their suicide. And those are the lack of the merit. Somehow, sometimes people think this merit is something you have a lot of things. That is merit. But that is not merit. But you can enjoy, or you can use those very nicely, whatever you have. Those are maybe is merit. And we can say, oh, you are very beautiful, you are married or something. But just having beautiful is not necessarily, it's really a result of the merit. But we can handle that well and satisfy this, give pleasure of that. You take essence of the good things. These are the something merit actually. So anyway, the bodhicitta has immeasurable merit. And also they says that the quality is inconceivable, because the qualities are limitless as Dhammatta. So therefore, Dhammatta is inconceivable for our dualistic mind. The inconceivable means that something we are only rely on the dualistic thought or mind, and we cannot really judge this. We cannot kind of comprehensive, because our intellectual is very narrow and limited and bondage. So therefore, we're talking about inconceivable. Okay. Then the text says here, that is how the measurable Dhamma of Buddhahood are grasped the bodhisattvas. So grasping means hold or endowment. Those who have bodhicitta mind and you are holding of the Buddhahood qualities, or Dharma of the Buddhahood means like quality of the Buddhas or Buddhahood qualities. Then here put the sutta. Again the sutta, what is name of the sutta? The sutta name is Bodhisattva Pitaka Sutta. And they're talking about with Shariputta. Shariputta is actually Hinayana, which is supposed to be practicing of the Hinayana path, but he was only actually kind of border person of the Mahayana and Hinayana. He can at least hear Mahayana teachings with no problem. But maybe many of Hinayana practitioners, they cannot hear about emptiness, about bodhicitta, and etc. So therefore, Shariputta is claim he is Hinayana, but same time he gets kind of receiving of the Mahayana teachings with secretly. Like he is a little bit secret agent at that Buddha's time, really. And we're talking about his emanation of the Hinayana, like he kind of manifesting as Hinayana, but same time then he practicing of the Mahayana. Because Hinayana practitioners, they respect Shariputta. I think even more than maybe Buddha, you can say. Or Buddha, of course they respect the Buddha because Buddha told exactly what they wish. And and then if Shariputta kind of make from that, he makes some better kind of explain, the Buddha's word, someone need to explain maybe this and that and so on and so forth. So Shariputta is kind of one of that kind of, they claim Hinayana, but same time he receiving some Mahayana teachings and he have no problem of that. So now the discussion with Shariputta. So if a Bodhisattva, Mahasattva possesses a certain single Dharma, the Dharma of Buddhahood are immeasurable, others will be complete grasping. What is this single Dharma? It is the excellence attitude focused on enlightenment. So always you can say they hold or grasping. Sometimes the grasping word is not so wonderful word, right? We don't like grasping. But it means that you can, here is that you really have, or you are holding the all Buddha's Dharma. He says someone holding single Dharma, and they're holding same as like all Buddha's qualities. And of course they're saying that here Buddhahood and immeasurable, that this Dharma of Buddhahood means more like Mahayana teachings, as well as also immeasurable other qualities will be completely whole. And what is the single Dharma is, it is excellence of attitude focused on enlightenment, right? Then again, Shariputta, if a Bodhisattva, Mahasattva possesses this single Dharma, this Dharma of Buddhahood and measurable, other will be completely grasping. And then again, similarly, many aspects of Dharma will appear and be blessed by Buddhahood. Again here, this is Longchen Ranjam's word, or Longchen Ranjam, he used also another quotation, maybe we can go that another quotation. Chamden the Bangawan, this excellent attitude is root of all Dharma. When this attitude is absent, all the dharmas of Buddha are for off. What does that mean? Sorry? Oh, someone put someone shoot some Savate. Samba Manjibatela Sonji. Oh, this also here says that who do not have the bodhicitta mind or bodhicitta thinking, then you are far from the enlightenment path. You know, when we talk about Dharma of the Buddhahood, means that path, means that teaching, you know, teaching which the bring into the Buddhahood. So if we then do not have the bodhicitta mind, and then you are far from the enlightenment path. And then again, Bhangavan asks for this excellence attitude. Even if we do not enter into Buddhahood, Dharma word will arise from the midst of the sky and from wall of trees. Okay, I have to read in Tibet. Samba Ponzo Sobalana Kayade Sonji Maju now. If someone have that bodhicitta mind or excellent attitude, then even there is no Buddhas, even there is no teachers, even there is no really such teaching books, but still the Dhamma appear in that person's mind. So they here talking about such walls, sky, trees, and etc. It was really many stories. Actually, like we talk about sometimes self-arise Buddhahood, you know, self-arise Buddhahood. And in the also, or maybe it will come anyway. Okay. Then Bhangavan, it is for example like this, whoever has legs has the ability to walk. Okay. Okay, maybe I forgot the last, I think. As for Bodhisattvas of pure contemplation from the examination of their own mind, and all the instructions and teaching will arise. So instruction means first when hear of the teaching is we call instructions. And then Tibetan word ji-ten. Ji-ten means, ji means after, ten means showing. So again, if you hear is in this case is teaching. You know, Tibet word here, Dhamma and ji-ten, two words. Dhamma is instruction and ji-ten means you hear again and again. You know, ji means after, ten means show. So instruction, hearing again and again, then say instruction and teaching will arise. Therefore, the Bodhisattva should produce the excellence attitude. Again, Bhangavan. It is, for example, like this. You know, someone asking, it is like this. You know, someone asked to the Buddha, is this like that? And so on and so forth. And then Buddha says, yes, yes, yes. Right? Sometimes Buddha have to say yes, 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 because too much bothers. Or make people happy because people don't want to hear no. Whoever has leg has the ability to walk, for sure, right? So similarly, whoever has the excellent attitude will have the enlightenment of the Buddhas. So without leg, we cannot walk. Without bodhicitta mind, you cannot be enlightenment. So the examples are something we have to find from there some meanings. So the showing of how the bodhicitta is important. Then this is better than making offerings to the togethers. What this comes now? To Tathangatas. Okay. Okay. Te kongla sambaji badala sonji chu Jesus. Depende komba jiva de son Jesus. Jamden din de yanla tongbo ngoji badala soban Jesus. Te Habi samba kongla yobatela sonji ji shonji Jesus. Okay, here is one missing in the translation. Also, yes, is Bhangavate. And again, it is for example like this. And whoever have head, and then we say this person has life. Person have life. If the head is working, person have life. The head is the most important part of the human beings or sentient beings. And likewise, whoever have the extraordinary mind, they have the Buddha's, the Dharma of the Buddha, he says. And then again here, the better than making offering to the Tathangatas, the sutta request by the householder glorious gift. So actually the Buddha's time, they have also many householder practitioners. And the householder practitioners are really very important because the monks, the nuns, they are living on the forest and every day they're begging. The householder practitioners, they serve food and sometimes they're practicing themselves. So householders are very important. Buddha himself also has few householder who serve food for him. So then one of this householder and Buddha, the discussion about the Dharma, and then that is become one of the books they call Request by Householder Glorious Gift. Okay, and better than person who are in Buddha fields filled abundantly with the 7 treasures, and who offer them to lords of the world. Those who have joined their plan in veneration and bore with reverenation of the bodhicitta, make an offering that is noble. That is what? Noble? Even more noble still. Moreover, there is no end to what is gained. Okay, I have to read this in Tibet. Okay. Sonje shin na magong ke rongchen dan ji yong gong ni. Jiden gong la probably gong ka thamma ja ji de yongje dan sem ten choban dan cheban bo. Telan tan ma ji. So okay. So the someone who offered to the many field of the Buddha's realms, offered filled by the 7 treasures to those great Buddhas, and then someone who really respect, both, try to generate bodhicitta mind, and then that is even more benefit, more merit, more how you could say excellent, and because the merit is no really limited, the last one is no limited. Here says no end or limitless, no line. And then again, next quotation from the person named Nobel Monlam's Tibet word Papa Dawa Dharmendolis. Again, this one of the Acharya or one of the noble one has discussion with Buddha, and that discussion became book, and the book name is same as this person's name, Papa Dawa Dharmendolis. Is in fully 100 millions, billions Buddha failed, though so many offerings that they were measureless, were always being made to the principal ones of beings. They would never reveal the attitude of kindness. Hewan tondit number hingdon, Chobat Namon Pome, Jennifer, Hinjo Nam, De Tanchobi, Hambesenji, Ton, Chatmobus. So, the object of the offerings, as we always mentioned, also the really virtue and unvirtue is not based on the amount and not based on like object, and not based on the actually your physical actions. So therefore, someone can offering a lot also with bodhicitta mind, and that is different case. And then someone just offering, and because maybe you have more compassionate for that person, or maybe you have some great hope to be happening something better, better happen in your life or on this materialism. There's many different kind of also motivations, when you are offering. So if someone offering even single cent with bodhicitta mind, and that is also different case. And then without bodhicitta mind, the offerings, and then someone practicing bodhicitta mind, the merit is big different. Okay, the big different. Jesus. And then next one is again the sutta of the crossing in the limitless gate. This is the talking about Burma. These three are inseparable of offering and ceremony for Tathangatas. They have immeasurable merit. What are these three? They are producing in the wish for unsuppressible, to completely enlightened, grasping the holy dharma of the Tathangatas, and producing what we have heard. That I have to read in Tibet, okay? Sonam Semeba, some Konshina, Lanamiba Yontaba, Zob Shonjit, Sam Chepat, Teji Chepat Namji, Tamba Chun, Zimbazato, Conchita Tibanam, Tej and the Debates, okay? These three, these three, the bodhicitta mind, and then the hearing of the holy dharmas, and the practice what you learned or what you heard. These three. For example, so actually, if we are generate bodhicitta mind, itself already grasp of the holy dharma. There is no such else than actually, grasping of the holy dharma, right? So, holding of the holy dharma itself also the bodhicitta mind actually. However, they put here three, generate bodhicitta mind, holding of the holy dharma, and the practicing. Sumbo Telana Tegin Sheban Chopato, Rondo Sheban, Lana Mebos. These three are the great Barma. These three are unsuppressed of offering and ceremony of the Tathangatas. Tathangata Sombar, Kade Tegin Shebi Kui, say Kawa Union, Chubing upon the number member Tayon, Kawa Sebanji, Somanji Pumbo Te Seba, Manjeros. Again here, Barma. If there is entry into the kalpa long measure of life of Buddha, life of the body of the Tathagata, the completely ripening of this of what is English? Fairings?
Offerings.
Oh, okay. So offerings will be shown and that kalpa exhausted, but this benefit of the heap of merit of these three will not be exhausted. So this is if something, like Buddha's form appear here, one kalpa. If you offering to the death Buddha's form, one kalpa, then one kalpa when one day it will be finished, right? One kalpa one day will be ending. So similarity of your offering is also will be ending. But someone who really generate bodhicitta mind and hearing of the Buddhas, practice hearing of the Buddha's teaching and practice of the Buddha's teaching, merit is never the end. So therefore, we try to arrange sometimes teaching. I would like to arrange more teachings, but then sometimes people think this is too much or something, but these are not only studying, not only learning something, but we gain a lot of merit if you have good motivation. If you have good motivation. And then moreover, liberate from the lower realm, attaining to peace and so forth that are immeasurable and inconceivable, we become worthy object of prostrations. So we should respect bodhicitta mind. Prostration means more respect, devotion, confident. And that way we can really link with your inner quality of the mind. And that way we are liberated from the lower realms. That way we obtain of the high quality of the mind. Really peace, really wisdom, genuine, compassionate. So, Bodhicaya Avatara here says, the moment they arouse the mind of bodhicitta, these wretches who are bound in the prison of samsara will then be known as children of the Tathagata, worthy of image by the world with its God and humans, within God and humans, with its God and humans. So generally we say we are samsaric beings. Today we are samsaric beings. But as long as we have the bodhicitta mind, or receiving vows, for example, then after immediately you are not anymore called samsaric sentient beings. You are called children of the Buddhas. And yesterday I explained about why become called children of Buddhas. So after that, the object of the prostration, respect, pay homage, because you are bodhisattvas, bodhisattvas. Also, the law shall be exalted. Law shall be exhausted. So maybe we should take some, I think maybe we can take some break here, short break, 10 minutes. 주도시가 possible. This translation is not final translation.
So it can come with some.
Yes.
Sometimes being so
One day every sentient being has to enlightenment. So therefore they have to go to the also Bodhicitta, through Bodhicitta mind. If the Dhamma question, then I have some time for the Dhamma question. Yes. I think if Dhamma question, maybe other time is good. But what if you one Dhamma? If there is one Dharma, and that is the Bodhicitta mind. This one Dharma. We have many different categories of the practice of Dharma. So if someone choosing one, and what if you choose? And then you have to choose Bodhicitta mind. Great attitude, with his excellent conduct sometimes. Which paid member are you talking? So, in the Bodhicaya Avatara, says here, like the supreme elixir that turns things into gold, it makes this defiled body the body of Buddha. What is worthless is turned into something supremely precious. Therefore, what is feeling? Firmly grasp that is known as bodhicitta. So, I think that they just give example, like gold leaf or gold water can, change all kind of materials into the gold form. Similarity, the body we call impurity body, particularly in the Hinayana practitioners, the meditation on the impurity, impermanent, and unstable body. They are meditation like that. And actually, it is. The body is not that wonderful. Body is become actually just kind of heap of some kind of impurity. So, but the essence of the body has some precious things. So, our precious treasure put in the garbage, actually, garbage of the form. So, if someone finds that precious from this impurity body, and no matter where you get, but what you gain is the precious. Here they are talking about the body of the Buddha. So body of Buddha, if you find the within this body, if you find the Buddha nature or the body of the Buddha, then I think this body has become very important, precious. So similarity here they are talking about the bodhicitta mind can transform such useless kind of material make into such that the gold plate make into as gold. Similarity, the bodhicitta mind, the impurity body become as body of the Buddha. So therefore, the bodhicitta is very important. So we have to generate, we have to hold, we have to also increasing. So that is the important, or that is the bodhicitta avatara says. And then next, the quotation from the sutta, from the Buddha's word. The sutta they call inconceivable sacred sutta. The merit of bodhicitta, if this were put into form, would fill the whole of space. And the Tibetan word sentence here even more than that, it says. They say English translation is, I think, missing one word, the more than that. Or maybe I think next one. Therefore it is supreme. Maybe this should be going up, I think. So this book is not final and not perfect. It means to be like that also. And that way, then you can learn also things. You can use your brain a little bit, improve after this book. Then next one is again the different sutta. In brief, as manifold as the goodness of the Buddha, Bhagavad, are the goodness or virtue of aroused bodhicitta. They are as vast as the realm of space of Dhammadhatu. I read in Tibet because I don't know in English very well. Dona sonji chamden de namla leper yoba chitawa yonje de semche be leper don yende yon tezamos. Leper yoba chitawa yonje de semche bas. So if someone generate bodhicitta mind as are the Buddhas, how Buddha himself generated bodhicitta. And then your quality also will be as a Buddha's quality. Namgi kondo chuji in the jachiu, Jesus essentially but the leopard no yendete on tezamos. And here says the space or as vast of the realm of space and Dhammatha. So the quality will be same as Buddha, same as limitless as space, and limitless as Dhammatha. So therefore, even we try to the generate bodhicitta is big things, So if you really want to flying, you have to train at least jumping, little bit jump, So if we never try even jump, then how we can fly? Similarity for beginners, it's hard for the generate bodhicitta, It's not easy because we have very strongly kind of grasping of the self. Even we learning this Dhamma can be your growth of the self. So it will really sometimes can be going wrong. So we have to check, we have to look. Even someone teach, it can be also growth of the grasping. Then it's not good. Then it's became everything upside down, I think you can say. And then next, bodhicitta is taught because of the intention of the Buddhas to do benefits. So why Buddha emphasized to showing the bodhicitta? They have many sutras, they're just only talking about bodhicitta. And then bodhicitta, he talk again. As well as great Vidadaras, great masters, they emphasizing all the time bodhicitta. And because the bodhicitta has some benefits for the sentient beings. So that's why they're showing again. Then again here using one quotation from the Bodhicaya Avatara. Having had this intention over many kalpas, the enlightened sages are the benefit of this. So this has two things. Can be benefit your practitioners and also can be benefit to the all other sentient beings. Sometimes we think, if I think to positive someone, what is benefit for others? Maybe think, how is get benefit for others. For example, if you practice of the bodhicitta, we can be think that how it really helps to others. But I think the thinking of the mind has some power, which is maybe invisible from our eye consciousness, ear consciousness, but there is some power, even with a wish to enlightenment for sentient beings. And that has big benefits. Someone think, always go to hell, go to hell. And that also affect the around with you. I'm sure the mind power is something very different than actually physical things, And then next is the praise of the Bodhisattva who possess bodhicitta. This Bodhisattva a great field. So if someone says about good things of the Bodhisattvas, this is the great object that you saying good things to others. The object makes big difference, object. So here they're talking about pure object, like when we say the object of the Buddha field, the great object for the offering, great object for the prostration, great object for the accumulated merit, and etc. Similarity here, the great object field for the saying good things who have the bodhicitta mind. So anyone who becomes angry with them has immeasurable non-merit. Also, if we say bad things to those who have bodhicitta mind, it's dangerous. So therefore, actually, any of the sentient beings, if we say bad things, is not good at all, because each sentient beings, they carry Buddha nature. Their nature is Buddha. But however, the great bodhisattvas, such like who really have the realization of their own natures and carry the bodhicitta mind, and helping the sentient beings, if we say bad things, that is non-merit. Here says, whose fruition is lower realms, and the result is be lower realms. So directly we hear that, but indirectly, whoever we says praise, prostration, offerings, those who are bodhisattvas, are the great virtue, and fruition will be high realms and attain enlightenments. And here again, okay. Then Bodhicaya Avatara says, whoever to such generous ones as the Buddha's children produce wishes, aggression, and innermosty, as many bad thoughts as there rose for many kalpas, they will abide in hell. So the sage has taught. So the great, they're talking about whoever are such generous ones as a Buddha's child. What it means that, what you can get from this text? The generous ones as Buddha's child.
If somebody producing vicious aggression towards them, they will go to hell.
No, I know that, but I'm asking whoever to such generous ones as Buddha's child. What does it mean that?
Whoever does something to those generous beings, like Buddha's children.
What are you talking? I'm asking whoever to such generous ones as the Buddha's child. What does this mean?
That is only the beginning of the sentence.
Yes, I know, but then what does this mean? Only bodhisattvas. So what it means, such generous
ones,
generous ones is the Bodhisattva.
as the Buddha's children, as generous as the Buddha's children.
Okay. So I think there's maybe two things. There's two things, you know, like Tibet word yinda. Yinda is who serve the bodhisattvas or bodhisattvas, and then like such generous ones, and Buddha's child, or generous of the, you know, like the two kind of, you can think, you know, generous. Tibet word is yinda. Yinda means who really serve the bodhisattvas. So bodhisattva and also who really kind of care of the bodhisattva, maybe they two can be think here, okay? That however, if someone really have bad thoughts to the great bodhisattvas, as well as maybe the like who care of the bodhisattvas. So, and even 1 second if you have bad thoughts, and you will go to the hell 1 kalpa. And or maybe it's a one time you had bad thoughts and you go to one kalpa in the hell realms. 2 times 2 kalpas, 3 times 3 kalpas. You know, the timing maybe even 1 second or 1 day or 1 week or 1 year, you know, depends that how long you keep, but how many times you are angry, and that amount of the kalpas, then we need to go to in the hell realms. That was Buddha's thought. So therefore, if someone prays, prostration, and so on and so forth, it's the great benefits, great accumulated merit. Then other hands, if we are or if we have like bad thoughts to the great bodhisattvas, has also same kind of bad results. So therefore, we have to be careful. And Sutta of Miracle of Attaining Complete Perfection says here, okay, Manjushis, as many times as they have told of innermost to a bodhisattva, that many kalpas will they abide in hell. Therefore, we should arm ourselves. What does it mean, arms?
Armor ourselves to protect with the armor.
Oh, armor, the weapons, not weapons, but protection of the weapons. They call armors. So, I think that we have to use our armor of the mindfulness, awareness, careful. These are the very important, you know, and train our mind through the actually difficulties. You know, sometimes we have some difficult person or difficult surrounding, and maybe arising anger, desire, but maybe firstly we do not know if these are anger or desire. Maybe through we learn this, you know, like 1 or 2 or 3 angers, then maybe we know, okay, this is not good, this is not good. Maybe one day, maybe we knew when the beginning arising, and then we have to push down, you know, or maybe even you arise it and then afterwards we try to push down, you know, after not holding that, you know, then slowly, when they are starting, we already knew, you know, then we can careful, we can really use mindfulness. So therefore, the armor weapon ourselves is very, very important, you know, very important. So therefore, armor weapon is actually the mindfulness, awareness, and careful. The Tibetan word tenshi poyo, sometimes we say temba hijin poyo. So great Shantideva, he says these three are the lifehood of the old sutta and tantric teachings, and these three are the very important for the enlightenment path. These three are very important no matter even your practice of the Dzogchen, Shaochen, Madhyamika, whatever. Without these three, we do a lot of mistakes. Maybe after all you've done, then we say, I'm very sorry, but that is it's maybe too late. If someone you killed, then say sorry is not enough, because this sorry is not anymore valuable. So if you done again same mistake and saying sorry, and that is also not really sorry anymore. And then because of that we need to use weapon of the mindfulness, aware and the careful. But here says but if we produced virtue and faith, want our merit increase even more. The former text says, and the Tepi give us or means that if we do produce virtue, faith to the bodhicitta or bodhisattvas, if virtue of the faith, actually, he put here virtue and faith, maybe more like produce of the virtue of faith to the bodhisattvas, then your merit even more increasing. That is in the same text of the Shantidevas. But if someone produces that excellent attitude, there will be a fruition that is much better than that. They will have themselves. So, if we produced devotion to the bodhisattvas or bodhicitta mind, so the fruition is more than they are now compare, if someone says bad to the bodhisattvas and you get bad result, and if someone say good or devotion and etc., and then your fruition is much more better than more higher than these other ones, say bad to bodhisattvas. I think maybe that's mean. Chetampenas, how become increased or better? Then he put here one sutta's teaching, sutta text. Again, okay. Manjushri asks for its beings completely and internally aggressed. For example, even if all the sentient beings in all the world of the 10th duration had their eyes pulled out, and someone then produced eyes for them, or if all the beings of all the world of the 10th duration were released from the darkness of the dark present and established in the happiness of the universe, Manushi or Burma. If a son or daughter of noble family looks on a bodhisattva with faith and devotion to the Mahayana and expresses praise, a merit countlessly greater than that will be produced. So, to praise, we don't need buy or something, borrow or buy, right? And devotion is also your own way of thinking. So that they don't need any kind of cushions, books, malas, or materials. We need really kind of generate, and these things we can generate even when you are driving cars, when you are in the office, whatever we do, it's always very important to be a present, and then, like your respect or your knowing of the qualities is very important actually. Firstly, we knowing the quality of the bodhicitta mind, and secondly, we try to generate. May you get some result, maybe in the short term. If you try maybe 3 times, you can see yourself how powerful. So then the devotion, the praise to the bodhicitta mind, and then maybe praise to the bodhisattvas, and so on and so forth. So those are the really great method to be accomplishing of our enlightenment. Produced, okay. And then and again here, even those who look on the bodhisattvas with the mind of the Kailasha, do not go to the lower realms, but are born in the high realms, let alone those who have faith. When you say let alone those who have faith, means what is English?
Don't even consider.
Okay, even considered. Okay, this is, I don't know this. Yeah, for sure, no question. And then here is one sutta teaching. Again here, the bodhisattva, producer of joy, Dejit, his name is Dejit, who was very handsome man. Bodhisattva handsome and pleasant to look upon, was begging alms in Sharavasita. What does that mean?
Alms is the actual, what you get when you're begging.
Oh.
Alms is the money or the food.
So anyway, here begging, he went in the place of the this Sharavasita, Tibet old Nyayut, which is the one of the most, like Buddha had Samaratude place in India. It's most, I think many times, like I think many years, maybe 20 times, I think something like that. I don't remember exactly, but one of the kind of longer, many times had the Samaratude Buddha himself. And then he went that place. And when he was seen by a merchant doctor, a merchant or big businessman, I think doctor named supreme among these who possess glorious qualities. What is this now? Palian Chenji. Okay, name is like, I think this Palian Chenji Chok. The girl lived out her life tormented by blazing flame of the desire to that bodhisattva. And then he was born among the 33 gods. So 33 realms of the gods. I think first year we talk about 33 god realms, right? So however, so he was very kind of, he looked at that bodhisattvas and he was strong kind of really desire, because of his beauty, gentle, pleasant. But somehow, and then he passed away like that kind of, they keep that kind of concessions or thoughts. So then they born in the God realms, right? And they, the children of the God, remembered their former existences and he said, Amos, if by looking at the bodhisattvas with desire, such a rapine as this arose, so what would have happened if I had looked with faith? You know, her kind of memorized are there, and he was really kind of very amazed. You know, even I just, you know, he knew that how he ended up in the God realms. You know, he in the God realm, he born in the as goddess, and must be also very beautiful and everything perfect. And he knew that he born in the God realm from the human form, and he knew that the cause of the why he born into the human form. So he was really kind of big amazed, you know. And even I look at the devotion, the desire, it's happening like this. And then if I look with faith and link with really from the heart, then what will happen, you know? And having thought that, and then he invited many of the gods and goddesses to the listening, teaching, to the Buddha's disciples, and they came together with their, I don't know what is this, Devini, okay, retinue of 500. And then offer such the flowers and etc. They offered such flowers and etc. This also can be the quotation. This they offered flowers and so on. And then moreover, even those who go to the lower realms by not having faith in these bodhisattvas, finally existed by their compassion, will be liberated beyond samsara. So they mentioned if someone really look into the bodhisattvas like bad kind of or anger or something, say bad into the bodhisattvas, and their result will be going to lower realms, right? But even you are going to the lower realms, also still may the bodhisattvas help you, because bodhisattvas knew that you are in the lower realm because of kind of the bodhisattvas circumstances. You know, if there's no that bodhisattvas appear in front of them, then he or she would not have kind of anger with them, and then he or he not have gone into the to the lower realms, right? So therefore, even you know someone says bad or says or deeds, and result of that you are lower realms, but still somehow the bodhisattvas, you know, and hook out from that lower realms, because bodhisattva himself was a little bit involved with that, even though bodhisattva has no such kind of distinguishing of the friend and animals and so on and so forth, but yet also these sentient beings are suffering because of those bodhisattvas. So therefore, here says the will be liberated beyond samsara. If they are connected by faith, by having that benefit, they will quickly attain enlightenment. And for sure, there Jewel Hip Sutta says, there Jewel Hip Sutta says, okay. Even those who do evil to bodhisattvas and by those actions go to the lower realms will be liberated from there by the bodhisattvas with great effort, and they will be established in great enlightenment. And again, in the Bodhicaya Avatara says, Dalla mini kondakin towa tebi senjo na tenya tata tedaki tengondo pa jijis. The aspiration like this. As for individuals who have once seen me, whether thought of anger or of faith arise, forever after may this always be the cause of establishing even benefit for them. And also, same text, even those who harm them will be connected to happiness. They will go for refuge to that source of happiness. Okay. So, the one kind of subheader is finished. So maybe we can stop here, I think. So if you have some questions, then always very welcome. But and before that, this text in the page number 51, we talk about the last paragraph or second last paragraph. Moreover, even those who go to the lower realm and is this like a little bit look like quotation font?
No, it's normal font.
No normal font? But then I think even those who do evil to Bodhisattva and those actions go to the lower realm is the normal font or quotation font?
Normal.
So this has to be is quotation. This is quotation font. Page number 51. Okay, if you have now questions, please welcome. Yeah, questions.
So there are like Mahayana sutras and the Buddha sutras. So why is it that some schools don't accept the Mahayana sutras as Buddha's teaching?
The Vinaya practitioners or Hinaya practitioners they are very beginner, so their mind is kind of a little bit small, I can say. And if Buddha teach to them as like you have to take care of all sentient beings, maybe they cannot do. And Buddha taught that everything is as emptiness. They cannot understand that. They cannot really hold that teaching. So therefore, and Buddha gave teaching for them more like, like starting from the cause and karma and selflessness, and then do virtue actions, more like physical actions and etc. So actually in the past or Buddha's time, Buddha taught two languages. One is Pali, and the Pali language followers are more Hinayanas. And then when Buddha taught about Mahayana teachings, more like in Sanskrit. And the two followers, the Mahayana and Hinayana followers, they both are very devotion to Buddhas, and then they really they follow fully, according to Buddha's teaching. But the Hinayana, they have no capacity to hearing of the Mahayana teachings. So that is the reason then they didn't hear at all Mahayana teachings.
It seems here in these quotations that there is that the Buddha also talked about bodhicitta.
Yes, of course. These quotations are from Mahayana teachings.
All of them.
Yeah, all of them. What they mentioned are is Mahayana teachings.
In these old sutras, like the Buddha's teachings,
old sutta.
Yeah, like the Buddhas in the Kanjur. So isn't there also a text about bodhicitta?
Yes, of course. All these are from Kanjur. Mm.
Yeah, I mean like the oldest text,
What is oldest text?
like the ones that are the Buddha Shakyamuni's teachings.
Yeah. These are the Buddha Shakyamuni teachings. What they're talking about sutta. These are the Buddha Shakyamuni teachings.
Sorry? So is it just that there were some teachings left out from the Pali teachings, and that's why they never heard them?
The groups, the group kind of different group, Buddha has different groups, okay? The Hinayana groups, and they receive Buddha's teaching, but they don't mention about bodhicitta mind at all. And then the Mahayana groups, they're talking about generate of the bodhicitta and etc. Like we say, good intention. In the Hinayana teachings, the Kanjur has the all, Mahayana parts and also Hinayana parts of the suttas. So Mahayana part, the Hinayana parts, they talk about good intentions, but they don't talk about bodhicitta. And the way of the explanation of bodhicitta is necessarily linked with emptiness and compassion and etc. So those are the Hinayana practitioners. They cannot receive this kind of teachings. So the sutta has two things, Hinayana, we call three pitakas, Buddha's teaching, Vinaya teaching, Abhidhamma teaching, and then sutta teachings. So Vinaya teachings more, Vinaya and also even Abhidhamma koshas are more like the what is called this Hinayana practitioners. What is your question?
I have three questions about the boomings.
Boomings are not yet coming.
This is the last year course. Booming, about the bodies of boomings.
It will come in. Okay, Charles, what is that last year question?
So, can you please explain, is it so that if you reach one booming, you don't fall anymore down from this booming?
Yes.
And then, about the bodies of boomings and result boomings.
Sorry?
Fruition booming.
Sorry?
Bodies of boomings and the fruition boomings.
That I don't know. What is fruition boomings?
This is the Vidyadhara.
Oh, Vidadhara. Tantric Vidadhara.
Yeah.
Oh.
So they both have the same goal. So it's the difference only that the bodies of boomings, they have longer period of accumulation, and the tantric boomings, they are like more like it can be shorter period. So what is the difference? Because the aim is in both is Buddha.
The Bhumi and Vidadhara both are like more the name or level of the realization. So in the Vidadhara, in Vajrayana teaching, they have also different level of the realizations for the practitioners, and they have similar name, but maybe there is different the meanings also, and not only fast or lower or longer or shorter, not only that.
So even though there is joint booming and all this.
This will be coming. This will be coming.
But then the third question is about the joint part. That is something I kind of did not really understand. So there is joint part is linked with all of the three boomings. It is the Hinayana boomings and Mahayana Bodhisattva boomings and the Tantric boomings.
Join means that you are entered into the path. Entered into the path. So Hinayana has Hinayana joint path, and Mahayana has Mahayana joint path, but they different also quality.
So what? Yeah, this is what is it actually that defines? For example, if you have 10 persons, is it the interest that defines which joint path they go to or belong to, or what is it that defines?
And that depends on their motivations. If you are already in the what is before this, before joint path, what we call accumulate, you are more collecting of the Mahayana teachings, accumulate Mahayana teaching, Mahayana circumstances. Then when you are joined into the Mahayana paths, right? And those who are Hinayana accumulate path, they're just collecting their teacher, they're teaching only about Hinayana, they join into the Hinayana joint path.
So something also can have to do with our past lives that we have accumulated in the past lives, right?
So we cannot rely everything on past life. You have to do something this life also. Us. So I think in this year we have some examinations, like oral examinations, maybe in the after 1 week or something. I will prepare all questions, and then we have to take from this, and then people have to give answering. So from the old books, first book, second book, maybe not much from this year book, but maybe something also from this year book. So I'm thinking how we can not really exam. I cannot say exam, but maybe we can say like little bit check, and it will be not difficult if you really practice it or study it, but at least we know how many times you open the books or read a book. So that is will be coming, okay? Sunam daye damje zeba nye dana nyembe dana bamje ye gana je baladu Zuben zolen dova dova re joy